Matthew 15:32 to 39. The compassion of the king and the abundance of the kingdom. In Matthew 15:32 to 39, the narrative presents a moment where the compassion of Jesus is revealed in the midst of a great multitude. The text records, open quote, "Then Jesus called his disciples unto him and said, I have compassion on the multitude, because they continue with me now 3 days, and have nothing to eat. And I will not send them away fasting, lest they faint in the way." Close quote. This declaration reveals the heart of the Messiah toward Israel. The multitude had followed him into a desolate place and remained with him for 3 days. Their physical hunger mirrored a deeper condition that had long characterized the people of the covenant. For generations, the nation had been under the weight of the law and the traditions of men, systems that could expose need but could never truly satisfy it. The disciples respond by questioning how such provision could be found in the wilderness. Whence should we have so much bread in the wilderness as to fill so great a multitude? Their question reflects the natural limitation of human perspective. The wilderness setting is significant, recalling Israel's earlier history when the nation wandered in the desert and was sustained by manna from heaven. That earlier provision pointed forward to a greater provision that would arrive in the person of the Messiah. Jesus asks the disciples, "How many loaves have ye?" They answer, 7, and a few little fishes. The resources appear small when measured against the need of the crowd. Yet the narrative does not emphasize the sufficiency of what the disciples possessed. Instead, it emphasizes the authority of the one. The people are instructed to sit on the ground. Order is established in the midst of the multitude. Then Jesus takes the loaves and the fishes, gives thanks, breaks them, and gives them to the disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. The act of thanksgiving precedes the multiplication, showing that the provision flows from the Father through the Son. The breaking of bread by Jesus foreshadows the greater reality that his own body would soon be given. Just as the bread is broken and distributed so that the multitude may be filled, the Messiah himself would be given so that life might be abundantly supplied. The result is striking. Open quote, "And they did all eat and were filled." Close quote. The text does not say they merely tasted or received a small portion. They were filled. The provision was complete. In the presence of the Messiah, there is no partial supply. What he provides fully satisfies. After the multitude had eaten, the disciples gathered 7 baskets full of fragments that remained. The abundance of what remained demonstrates that the supply exceeded the need. The kingdom brought by Christ is not characterized by scarcity, but by overflowing provision. The number 7 often represents completeness. The gathering of 7 baskets of fragments reflects the completeness of what the Messiah provides for his people. What begins with a few loaves ends in abundance, revealing that the source of provision is not human effort, but divine generosity. Matthew records that those who ate were 4,000 men, besides women and children. The magnitude of the crowd magnifies the miracle. Thousands were sustained through the provision that flowed from the hands of Jesus. After the multitude was sent away, Jesus entered into a ship and came into the coasts of Magdala. The movement of the narrative shows that this miraculous provision was part of the broader unfolding of his ministry throughout Israel, a ministry announcing that the long-awaited promises were reaching their fulfillment. Within this event, the identity of Jesus is unmistakably revealed. He stands as the one greater than Moses, who fed Israel in the wilderness. He is the one through whom the true bread is given. What the law could not provide, true satisfaction and life, comes through him. Thus, Matthew 15:32 to 39 portrays the Messiah as the compassionate provider whose abundance surpasses human limitation. In the wilderness of Israel's long history, the king arrives and feeds the people, revealing that the fulfillment of God's promises has appeared in his presence. Through him, the people are not merely sustained for a moment, but are shown the overflowing provision that accompanies the arrival of the kingdom.